So we have Battalion Chief Matt Tobia, who is the chairman of the IAFC Safety, Health, and Survival section, joining us now. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us. We really appreciate it.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, so we were talking about this before, talking about the importance of physical exams just for the average folk, but for firefighters to get an annual and physical, that's even more important, right?
Absolutely critical. Every year, half of all firefighters who are killed in the line of duty die of a heart-related event, a sudden cardiac arrest, a stroke, or an aneurysm. And oftentimes, these are completely preventable deaths. We can save our firefighters' lives simply by requiring them to get an annual physical.
This is not a requirement right now.
It's not. There are national consensus standards that exist that guide jurisdictions in what type of a physical firefighters should get, because it's a little different than what the average citizen might need to have. Because we're at risk for a cardiac event, we need to make sure we're focusing on cardiac health. But the reality is that in many places across this country, it's not mandatory, and we want to change that.
Kind of change the idea and the thought process, so get everyone on the same page, if you will.
That's exactly right. The IAFC Board of Directors at this week's conference approved a position statement which elevates the importance of these annual physicals. It puts jurisdictions on notice. Hey, this is critical, and we're going to be pursuing every way that we can to ensure that every firefighter in the United States gets an annual physical.
So along with that, I'm assuming is one of the main goals, what are some of the other goals for the section this year?
You know, the section is clearly focused primarily on the safety of our personnel. Safety, health, survival, wellness. One of the biggest issues that continues to trouble firefighters in this country is the issue of depression. And quite frankly, similar to what's going on in the U.S. military, we find an alarming rate of suicide. Very tragic circumstances, and that these are missed opportunities for us to help our own people. And so we're really focused on not only the physical health, but also the mental health of our personnel.
Are there counselors available now for firefighters in case they need them?
There are, but firefighters tend to bury their feelings very deeply. They tend to carry them around. They tend to believe that they need to be strong. They need to portray a strong image. The problem is that that's a very cumulative effect that can have a devastating effect not only on the firefighter, but of course the whole fire service. And so we want to break down some of those barriers. We want to make sure that our firefighters know that not only is it okay, but we expect them to be as mentally healthy as they are physically healthy.
So you're talking about the importance of obviously focusing on the mental aspect, the physical aspect for safety. What if there's a firefighter who, if he or she has a medical issue out in the field, would you pull him or her off the field immediately? I mean, what's the process from that point on?
You know, that's probably the biggest fear of firefighters, getting an annual physical. They don't want to leave being a firefighter under somebody else's terms. When a firefighter decides that they don't want to be a firefighter anymore, they always want it to be on their own terms. And so they're very fearful. They're going to find something. And tragically, most firefighters would rather live in the ignorance of not knowing they had a problem than facing that challenge. They'll run into a burning building but not want to face a heart problem. So let's talk about, real quickly, what happens. Firefighter finds out that they have a medical problem. That doesn't mean that they don't get to be a firefighter anymore. It simply means that they need to come back from the field, come out of the field for the period of time necessary to fix that problem, which are very fixable, and then return to full duty. We've had firefighters who have had cardiac stents put into their hearts, and they have gone through cardiac rehab, and they've returned to full duty. So finding a blockage in your heart doesn't mean you don't